You know, I thought Star Trek Discovery and Picard were bad. There's no way to take the cake from those two stinkers, but the CW sure as hell tries. Make no mistake, Batwoman is a terrible, terrible show. It's badly written, badly acted, everything about this show is bad. It's so bad that even the basic premise makes zero sense. In the very first episode, Batman had vanished. Nobody knows why, but the populace of Gotham actually were celebrating. The one thing preventing the city from descending into chaos, and they were happy? To make matters worse, their new Batwoman, now with 50% more diversity, is a homeless ex-con, who happens to be a martial arts expert, was arrested for drug possession, which makes her a victim of the justice system, and she's living in a van down by the river. I'm serious. She's living in a van down by the river. Have they never seen Saturday Night Live?
And I live in a van down by the river.
My guess would be no. Batwoman is so bad that it not only plays out like a bad SNL sketch, but it also lacks the self-awareness to realize that its diverse elements are just leaning into the worst stereotypes imaginable. At the same time, it exploits all the same problems that many have with other franchises with its Mary Sue moments. How does its new, more diverse Batwoman, Ryan Wilder, oh good God, that name, take up the mantle of Batwoman anyway? Is it a passing of the torch moment? Is it an inspiring act of heroism? Does she have any connection to the hero, claiming that she's the only one who could carry on the fight? Nope, nope, and nope. After Kay Kane's plane crashes near where she parked her van, she finds the costume in the dirt and then puts it on in a gas station bathroom. I'm being completely serious here. She finds it in the dirt and then puts it on in a dirty gas station bathroom. And with zero training or practice, she can use all the gadgets that come with the suit. No, how does this work, or awkward moments trying to figure out how the grappling gun works or anything. Sure, they show her fumbling once or twice, but that's about it. That's how she becomes Batwoman. Who needs a hero's journey when you can rely purely on being in the right place at the right time by sheer coincidence? And since when can a 1960s Ford E-Series camper van outrun the Batmobile? The lesson here is, kids, the path to being a hero is apparently now finding a more popular hero and then stealing their identity, valor, and their costume. I'm wondering now, why should we have expected more from a series in where the main character only had aspirations of being a glorified rent-a-cop? And she's not the only stereotype. Oh no. Because in addition to stunning and brave, diverse LGBT homeless ex-con victim of the justice system Batwoman, there's still the old same standbys from last season. There's diverse Alfred, Asian science lady, dick businessman, interracial girlfriend, daddy issues, sexy British girl, and finally, last but not least, raging Karen. All the Wokemon on your diversity bingo card are represented. And if Batwoman were a drinking game where you had to take a shot every time you see a stereotype on screen, then the next day you'd be checking into rehab. Batwoman is the type of show that's so bad we wish we could forget that we've seen it. Sure, we can rail about how bad Batwoman is all day long, but it's indicative of a larger problem with TV and especially with comics. If you paid attention to comics over the last decade, and judging by the sales figures, you haven't, the comics industry is not just in decline, it's essentially flatlined. Nobody's buying comics, and to make matters worse, you have industry pros who can't throw it into the ocean, not even if their lives depended on it. They'd rather shame fans into not liking their new diverse creations than actually do anything worthwhile. DC and Marvel haven't created any memorable new characters in the last 30 years. Deadpool? 1991. That's it. It would be easy to blame Batwoman for being bad on its own, but there's a much, much deeper issue here. You see, Batwoman is just a symptom. The root of it is you have creatives who have taken over the industry, whose idea of creating new characters is to take existing characters, make a few tweaks around the edges, and then say, good enough. And those tweaks are about, say, 25% different? It's rampant in comics. Riri Williams, Miles Morales, Children of the Atom, Kamala Khan, all of them are just copy and paste versions of more popular characters with a tad more diversity. The reason? Because it's easy. Rather than actually putting in the hard work, it's a shortcut. Worse, many of these are just self-inserts for their creators. These are characters that are made by people who actually lack the creativity to actually come up with something original. Because when they do try to come up with something original, well, we get this. You know, as maligned as former Marvel editor Jim Shooter was, if you walked into his office and showed him this, he'd tell you, I asked for new characters and this is the best you can do. Get out of my office, and if you don't have something else on my desk by 5 o'clock, you're fired. By making your characters just copy and paste versions of more popular characters, you're shortchanging the readers and your characters. The counter argument to this is, well, you just hate women in diversity, or it wasn't made for you. Judging by the sales at Marvel and the ratings for Batwoman, it wasn't made for anybody. And if all you're going to do is give us inferior product with no identity of its own, then you know what? Good luck to you. You're gonna need it. See you next time.
Yeah, I know the clock is ticking, but the Mets are gonna kick in. My pilot light shining, pilot light shining, pilot light shining bright.